Use this tool to cut through the clutter, gain clarity, and move forward. In this episode, I'm going to explain one of my favorite tools that I've developed. It's called the Solution Formulator. Get ready. You're going to be blown away with how powerful this can be for you, those you care about, your children, grandchildren, even your employees. Hi, my name's Doug Andrew, and I've been primarily viewed as a financial strategist and retirement planning specialist now for more than 48 years. But it's much broader than that. I call this channel Three-Dimensional Wealth because instead of just helping people optimize their financial assets and minimize taxes, that's just one of three dimensions. See, true or authentic wealth is like a three-legged stool. Money's just one leg. The other two are your foundational assets. That's your relationships, your values, your beliefs, and so forth, your heritage, your talents, unique abilities. There's another leg of the stool or dimension, that's our intellectual dimension, and that's our wisdom and experiences and knowledge and reputation and skills and habits. Those are the three dimensions. So in teaching people now for 48 years how to optimize assets in all three dimensions, I've developed a lot of thinking tools because unfortunately, there are a lot of college graduates today that do not learn basic skills like critical thinking. And I'm shocked by this. And so I developed 22 tools to help my own children and grandchildren and my employees think through critically and make decisions and come up with solutions by themselves because they're not taught that in colleges and universities. So get ready. I'm going to show you one of my favorite tools, and I'll show you why. It's what I call the Solution Formulator. So this particular form, many times I'll print this out on an 11 by 17 instead of an 8.5 by 11 so that I have more room to write. But it's called the Solution Formulator, and it's quite simple. If you take good notes, you'll understand the process. But I'll show you at the end of this episode how you can actually have access to this form. It's trademarked. But you can use it for yourself. Don't sell it to others. It's a trademark form. So the Solution Formulator, this is how it works. Whenever you have a process where you have a project or a decision or an issue, sometimes people call them problems. In my company, we don't allow problems. We have issues. But anytime there is an issue, my employees know they do not come to me with an issue, quote, problem, unless they accompany the meeting with a solution formulator filled out. I want them to critically think through it and come up with their own solution before asking me my take or me to solve it. And you wouldn't believe, 80% of the time they cancel the appointment because they've already come up with a solution. This empowers those that you care about to do critical thinking and come up with their own solutions, and you'll see why as I go through this process. So it's quite simple. I've had our children use this for years. So let's say they have some kind of a project or decision they're trying to make, whether should I accept Jimmy's proposal to marry him, or it could be should I start a business, or with our youngest daughter, we have 6 children, my wife and I, and our youngest daughter wanted to go on a second semester abroad trip when she was in college. Now, in our family, they are able to go to a semester abroad. They save half, and the family bank is what we call it. We match half. We don't pay our kids college, but we maybe match them with opportunities. If they save or they get a scholarship. And we encourage our children to have a semester abroad, like in Israel or Egypt, so that they get to experience the world out there. And she had just done that, and she had used all of her savings for her portion of that semester abroad for 4.5 months. So she came back and she was all excited. Mom, Dad, that was so incredible. I want to do another semester abroad because they can only get these deals before they graduate. And she said, I want to go to New Zealand because they have a program down there that I can still complete a lot of my classes in accounting, which was her major, but her minor was recreational development. And so she wanted to go to New Zealand. And I go, oh, well, okay. Well, you can make the decision before you ask my take, or mom and dad's. fill out a solution formulator. She goes, oh, I forgot. Yep. She went upstairs to a bedroom, filled out this form in less than an hour, came downstairs. She said, I've already made the decision. I just want your stamp of approval and your input. See, I wanted her to make the decision. Then she takes ownership. Here was the process. When you look at this form, what you're doing is you're simply putting on the top lines, what is this project? In this example, a semester abroad in New Zealand. The second thing is the big picture. So what is this going to generate for me? Is it just a fun vacation? And she goes, oh no, I'll be able to have experiences. It'll help me with my major and my minor and so forth. And then you move down here to the bottom right and you write down the date that this decision has to be made or it comes to fruition, because she's got to pay half and we pay the other half if we're matching. And she needs to be able to make sure she hits that deadline. So she puts that down over here. She comes over here to this circle, which is number 4. Well, she writes down, first of all, they brainstorm, and she writes the 3 greatest benefits. So what are the 3 greatest benefits? Now, she may list 6 or 7, but she circles the top 3 benefits of going on a semester abroad. Once she gets that clear in her mind, she goes over here to this first vertical column, and this is number 5, and she writes down, well, what are some of the barriers, roadblocks, hindrances that are standing in the way? Well, I spent all my savings going to Israel and Egypt. I don't have any money left, and it's going to cause me to graduate a semester longer than what I was anticipating, or whatever. So she writes down these obstacles over here. Well, opposite of every obstacle, she circles the top 3. Opposite over here in this box, in 6, she writes down a strategy, like a resource, that she can use to overcome that obstacle, one-on-one. And so she wrote down, oh, yeah, I don't have any money, but I have a car. Well, I love my car, but I can always get a new one when I get back. If I sell my car, I can take the equity in the car and I can come up with most of the money I need. And then I'll just buy a new car when I get back. Ooh, solved. And then she comes down and she says, actually, this will dovetail my graduation better and everything. So she gets that clear in her head. This is actually going to work out very well to graduate a semester later. And then maybe she has another one. Well, I'm still short. But then she comes up with, well, they don't ask for a handout. They go, Mom, Dad, can I borrow the last $1,500? It's not can I have, can I borrow? And this is how I'm going to pay it back. When I get my job, I'll pay you, $500 a month in 3 months. And or else I'll paint, or I'll shampoo carpets, or I'll mow lawns, but several ways they're going to pay this back. And so then she writes down, so what are some of the greatest opportunities that will happen because of going on the semester abroad? 1, 2, 3. See, the brain can get around a list of 3 obstacles, 3 solutions, okay, 3 benefits, 3 opportunities. And then you write down your decision. And she came downstairs, and on the back of the form, she writes down her action steps. And she says, yeah, I can do this. And she said, Mom, Dad, could I borrow $1,500 and I'll pay you back $500 a month? All I said was, this looks really good, honey, but you're going to buy a new car when you get back. So take pressure off. Just pay $300 a month, and you'll pay it off in 5 months. That gives you $200 a month toward the purchase of a new car. Loan approved. Bam. It was done, but she made the decision. Instead of having Mom and Dad make it for her, and then if it doesn't pan out, who do they blame? You. You want them to take ownership and be responsible and accountable. That is the power behind the Solution Formulator. Now, if this is resonating with you and you can think of somebody you want to share this video with, be sure and click share on the link. Post a comment, click like, but most importantly, subscribe to this 3-Dimensional Wealth channel. It's free, and click the little bell when you do, because then you'll be notified every time I post a new video, which I do almost on a daily basis. I don't want you to miss out. But stay with me another couple of minutes, because I want to gift you a copy of one of my books at the end of this episode. I'll pay for the book, and you can claim your free copy to have access to ideas and tools like this. So let me connect the dots on how powerful this is so that you understand the Solution Formulator and how it empowers people. So many times when I take live audiences through my financial seminars, they will begin to fill this out. They don't want to outlive their money in retirement, and they want to do what they want to do. And so they want to have enough money to enjoy their life. And so they want to retire financially secure And these are the benefits. They want to have their family be together, not worry about money and outliving their money, what have you. Well, so what are some of the biggest problems or barriers? Well, taxes might erode away a lot of their hard-earned money. Inflation will cut the purchasing power in half, maybe every 5-7 years. And then market volatility, where they have their money in the market in tax-deferred IRAs and 401ks. So those are sometimes the three biggest obstacles. And so they go to the next column and they go, well, I'm going to complete the strategies that Doug taught and convert to tax-free vehicles, link my returns to the things that inflate, and make myself immune from market volatility because I will take my money out of the market and link my returns to the things that the market is doing, but not lose when the market goes down by using indexing. That's a strategy I teach. And so they write down the benefits and what they can do, the opportunities to be able to incorporate a laser fund, which is one of my favorite financial vehicles to do this, and how this will allow them to be able to have a financially secure retirement. They go through this and they have a date that they want to implement this by. And many people that have gone through this become financially independent. They're immune from taxes, inflation, and market volatility. They go through on the back of the form and they get super clear on their future financially, and they write down all of the action steps that they need to take. This helps them arrive at a solution that they can follow step by step. And it's very liberating when they do that. So if you would like to have access to forms like this, I want to gift you a copy of this book called Entitlement, Abolition. And if you're intrigued with the financial dimension, chapter 10 of this book will help you understand that. But let me show you how you can claim your free copy. Simply go to entitlementabolitionbook.com, click on the link below, and you contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost. I'll pay for the book. It's 200 pages, 12 chapters, and it will show you how to abolish entitlement mindset, take ownership of your future, and optimize the financial assets. Only one chapter has to do with money. The rest has to do with real or authentic wealth, the values, the virtues, your beliefs, your wisdom and knowledge, and so forth. But you're going to be blown away. And when you claim your free copy, there's options there to listen and learn, watch and learn. There's an 18-hour masterclass in there. And when you subscribe to that, then you'll have access to tools like the Solution Formulator and 21 other tools. There's also other opportunities with our virtual educational events that we hold on a regular basis. So claim your free copy, and we'll see you in a brighter future.